All right, so we are going to get this recorded because there are lots of people working and busy today who can't be here but don't want to miss this. And we are just super honored. So Katie, I'm going to ask you to brag on yourself a little bit and tell us some of the highlights of your time in the business, and then just what's been happening for you, with TikTok and in the last month, and just kind of recap for anybody that missed last night.
Okay, so yes, I am so excited, you guys. I first thought TikTok was like not my jam because I am not like a dancer. I'm not like super like creative. I love watching TikTok, but like when I see other people, I was intimidated because I don't naturally have that creativity. So I started doing some, they weren't taking off, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this then. Like, this isn't worth my time, whatever. And my friend Brittany was like, no, dude, you have to keep doing it. You just got to keep making them. And so I started making them consistently. And then guess what? One took off. It went viral back in March. I signed 96 distributors that month. Right after that, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do this again or whatever. I took a little break, which was such a big mistake. And then I found myself complacent again. So those of you who've been in a while, you know what it's like when you get complacent and then your check's just kind of mediocre and you're like, I'm tired of this. So I was like, okay, I've got to let go of all the limiting beliefs that I put on myself. I've got to get ready to set up and just go. I saw other leaders enrolling 50, 60, 70 from TikTok. And I'm like, dude, their TikToks were not anything crazy, extravagant, like super like Charli D'Amelio, like dancing. It's just like so basic. I was like, okay, if they can do this, like so can I. I just have to do them, right? And so I'm listening to what they're doing because the number one thing to be successful with this business is to make sure that when somebody's killing it and they're rocking it, you listen to what they say and then you just repeat it. So I started repeating everything everybody else was doing. So they were saying 3 TikToks a day. And at first I'm like, whoa boy, that's a lot of TikToks. That's a lot of ideas. But really it's not that hard. And once you get your little like juices flowing, it's really simple. So I started looking at everybody for ideas, using their idea and just twisting it into my own and making 3 a day. I would record 20 to 25 a day in one day, and then I would use that for the week. So 1 day a week, I would do content, which is what I usually do anyways for my Instagram or whatever else, like Facebook, all that stuff. I always have content ready once a week. So I was like, okay, I can just spend some extra time doing TikTok. So 1 day, and it took me, I would say 3 to 4 hours, okay? It took me a little bit of time, but this is something that you should not feel guilty about doing because you're going to get business from this. So don't feel like, okay, I didn't get a lot done today. If you recorded 20 TikToks, you got a lot done today. So record all of them in 1 day, and I edited them in 1 day. Why? Because throughout the week, while I'm doing my other tasks, until my TikToks do take off, I must have something to do that's quick. Okay, so I don't want to keep overwhelming myself and editing every day. So I have 2 kids, I homeschool, all the things. So I basically just went in, I would edit them all, and then I would save them to the drafts, and I would even caption. All the captions were done. Like, all I had to do was click post. I posted 3 a day. At night, I like to do it just between 8 and 11 p.m. because that's personally when I feel like there's a lot of response. And so I just went in and did it, posted one. As soon as it was uploaded, post the other. As soon as it was uploaded, post the other. And then I'm done. I don't check it. I don't stalk it. I just let it do a thing. And I directly, on my captions, they all say, follow me on IG and fill out my influencer application in my bio. You want a call to action, 2 things. If they follow you on Instagram, even if they don't sign up right now, if they don't fill out your influencer application, they're still going to see you all the time on your Instagram. And it got me over 5,000 followers in just over a week. So you're not going to get that kind of result by doing Instagram or just doing Facebook. Like, it's massive numbers quickly, and you'll grow so much faster by doing it.
I love it. That's amazing, honestly, because I think that so much of this business is the networking side of it. And sometimes we forget that, right? It can be easy to get caught up in the tasks of like sending messages and doing host to post and not necessarily adding the people to your network that you need to through doing those tasks. And so I definitely agree. I think TikTok is like, that's what I'm realizing about it, is it's that way to really massively expand your network and to draw a large amount of followers. So how many would you say you've converted? Is it 5,000 new followers on Instagram or 5,000 on TikTok?
5,000 on Instagram, a little bit over 5 on Instagram, and then I got over 20,000 on TikTok.
That's crazy, guys. So just imagine like what that does for your reach with everything that you're posting. And I'm sure you've seen your engagement just like skyrocket through your stories and through everything else. And I was chatting with someone last night and just saying like, that's why having all of these things there when people go there. That's why we have to do the 3 TikToks a day. It's not like all 3 are going to go viral, but when you have one viral TikTok and people go back and they spend time scrolling through all your stuff, that's probably where they're seeing it. So do you have any kind of a ratio in terms of the videos that you do, in terms of like products versus business versus just like silly, goofy, funny? Any kind of rules of thumb that way of what you found has worked?
So I recorded 50 business TikToks. I did like maybe 1 personal. Okay. And honestly, the personals are hard for me. That's like the harder task, but I don't think people really care because TikTok is like, it's not like any other app that we have. So when they're going through the discover page comparable to Instagram, so they're just scrolling. So if you post like 3 things, like 3 business TikToks, it's not just all going to be like Katie, it's Katie and then a million other people. And then, you know what I'm saying? So I put on some other personal stuff like in between as I can, but I wouldn't stress too much about having to come up with those ideas. I personally, like the one that took off for like, well, I had 1 take off and this is kind of the key. 1 took off and then the other one started getting more traction too. So as I started getting like applications in, because at first what I thought was awesome was 2,000 applications. Like I was like, oh, this is great. And then it kept going 4, 5, 6. And now it's over 11 in like a little bit over a week and a half. So I have so many people. So I'm just posting like some little simple TikToks that take me no longer than like 10 minutes to keep my page active and show people on the live. But so like people who just see me on TikTok, they're seeing that aspect of things. But yeah, I wouldn't focus too much on like coming up with if you're creative, yes, do that, because I have a girl on my team that had a simple creative video go viral, which pushed her business ones up a little bit more and got her more applications, but it really I don't think it matters too much.
No, I think that's great to know though. I think, you know, it's different than like, again, on Facebook and on Instagram where you have to have that variety of things. I love that you can be really focused with what your intention is in TikTok and use that as a platform to like draw people to the places where they can see the rest of our life and they can see how we work this business. And I know that, you know, again, like hearing these big numbers, for some people, it's like, oh my gosh, 11,000 applications. What would you say is truly like, and I know you're still just getting started working through them, but on average, what would you suggest to your team is like the average that they're going to close out of the number of applications that they get? Just so they know, like they need to work for those bigger numbers for that reason.
Yeah, okay, so this is one of my favorite things. So numbers, okay? I signed up 114 people in 1 week off of 900 applications, okay? So that's like, for easy numbers, like 1 in 10 sign up. I personally like and I close them in 3 messages. So like, and if they're not responding, eventually once I get through 11,000, sure, I'm gonna go follow up. But right now I want the hot, ambitious ones. So I'm going through and I send them my video. If you watch it, it just tells my story, like who I am. And basically it's 11 minutes. It just talks about me for the first like probably 6, 7. Talk about who I am, what I've been able to do, where I started, all that kind of stuff. Then it talks about what we do, post on Facebook, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. We influence people to buy products, how we get paid. Then I say, message me when you're ready. So if they say I'm ready, we get started. So about 1 in 10, I would say. And then as far as people taking off, so this has been about 2 weeks since I've been like killing it. And I would say, I think I have between 8 to 10 already got their 6th. 2 already have themselves Boxed for Ruby on their own. And I would say like 30 have gotten 2 to 3 customers. And then maybe like 20 have gotten 1. And then the rest have gotten nothing.
Okay. I love that though. And I mean, even when you just look from that aspect, that out of all of these people, like that's probably at least $2,000 in fast starts alone that you've already earned in like a week, guys. Okay. And what I love is that this platform is so new and it really is the same potential for all of us. And, you know, I don't think that you have to have that like huge successful story. And so I know some of us, you know, that have been in the business for a while that have achieved success can post about those kind of big things. But Katie, I'm sure you're probably making some videos too that are just about those like everyday things that everyone's looking for. What do you find is having the most kind of mass appeal that people seem to be responsive to?
Like all my videos?
Yeah, and your stories of like what part of your story you're sharing.
Okay, so I talk about like struggling to pay bills and debt. So credit card debt, student loan debt. I I talk about being home, be a stay-at-home mom now. I talk about like things I've been able to accomplish, like I paid off my cars. I talk about just like no car loans. I talk about things that I've done that are just like that I'm accomplishing. So I just did redid my backyard. So just things that I see people like, especially, and everything appeals to people differently. Like for right now, for whatever reason during the pandemic, everybody decided to do home renovations, right? So like the backyard thing was just like, oh wow, that's a perfect timing. The student loans, everyone has those. So talking about those, credit cards, especially right now with Christmas, credit card debt is going through the roof. So touch people on things when whatever you wanted to start this with, focus on that as your major thing. So like bills on auto pay is another one that I really wanted when I started, credit card debt and groceries.
Love it. I think that's so like realistic for people to reach for, and it's attainable things that everybody wants. So it's really relatable. And anyway, so I appreciate getting your feedback on, you know, you put a million things out there. What do you find, you know, is working the best? And then what's your advice to your newbies that are jumping on and maybe they've just been watching TikTok and they've never even made any themselves? You know, as these new distributors are coming on board, are you having your team and your new distributors use TikTok as kind of their primary thing right now? Is that what you're pushing the most then?
Sort of, kind of. So some of my people, like they're watchers on TikTok. They don't make anything. And I will tell you guys, and this is where I see a huge difference. So if you're new, this is going to be a good tip for you. And leaders, this is great to tell your newbies. My newbies that don't let fear hold them back are the ones who are Boxer, Ruby, and they already got their 6. Mm-hmm. I've had people, like a couple of my newbies already have 15 loyal customers and they're Box themselves for Ruby. They're ready to go, making TikToks, doing the things, but they're just not afraid. They say, Katie, what do I do to move the fastest? And I say, make TikToks, go, here's people to follow, go get some ideas, make your own. You know, do host to post. We are really big on that too, like, cause we all know host to post is quick customers. So I'm saying do your host post, make your TikTok and message and just go all in. And they're having the fastest success by doing kind of all three, but they do the same thing I do, record content one day, and then the rest of the week you're doing the messaging, the host to post, like all those things, because it really does all pull together. But man, the ones that are killing it, they're just not afraid. They're diving all in. And I was nervous at first because I'm like, I wasn't gonna get overwhelmed. Like they're on Over making slides. They're on TikTok making TikTok. They're doing so many things and they're like, no, just tell me how to do it. I'll just do it. And they're just killing it. So don't be afraid to overwhelm them. If they're interested in wanting to know, tell them. But really just don't be afraid to make TikToks. Like think about this, you guys. How many times have you heard a TikTok? Whether you relate or not. It was the most embarrassing thing. You would not be caught dead saying that on TikTok. Like you're like, yeah, I've done that. Or yeah, it's funny. But like, I would never say that. Yes, there's so much more things that are like, so many more things that are more embarrassing than what you could ever do by dancing or like pointing or whatever. So just do it. And once you do one, the rest will just come in.
Love it. Okay, well, I would love to hear a little bit about kind of your strategy for when you're making your videos. I know that we've heard from different people, like some people use viral sounds, some people, you know, use what appeals to you as a person. What's kind of your rule of thumb or what you'd suggest for somebody that's jumping on for how to even like pick their sounds and like find a place to start that'll give them maybe a leg up towards things taking off?
So the first thing you want to do, you need to have good lighting. That's like the number one thing. Good lighting makes things take off. So if you're taking it and like, basically like good lighting just makes everybody look better and it catches attention. It's like trying to take a photo in your closet versus trying to take a photo in front of a window. Go in front of the window and your videos should be like really high energy. If you're boring, you're not getting anybody. So don't be boring. And it's not hard to not be boring. Jump around, move a lot, dance a little bit, get your kids involved, do something that just like not where you're just sitting here, like, cause that's boring. So jump, move, get lighting. And also, you know, big words across the screen are gonna catch attention. So like you have a half a second to catch attention. So if you're like sitting there for a second, just like smiling and dancing, like if you're not doing something cool, people are swiping. So you need a good keyword in the front. As far as the sound goes, if you're creative, you can do a lot of stuff with sound. I don't necessarily use viral sounds. But honestly, what I did was I went to every other person that was posting TikToks and I went to what they're like, whatever they did. And then I would just think about how can I level up this a little bit? And then I'll level it up a little bit and just try to like the first one I feel like is the hardest to get your juices flowing. But once you get one recorded, you're like, okay, I can do this. And for this idea, I can do this. So this would be like one of them, you know, I was in a pink dress. If you guys go on TikTok, you can see it. And I just jumped like over and over. And every time it would be a transition, me jumping up, come back in, down. Or that I would be in a different background. So you want to kind of film them in different places of your house, and you'll see different ones like go viral. But a lot of people like the transitions into different spots. So if I start in my office, go to the kitchen to the front door, and then I'm like, okay, maybe I'm out back, or maybe I'm in my room or something. It's just the difference of like, it's keeping them intrigued, I guess. So really making sure you're not just don't be boring in that way. Just switch it up, make it crazy, and think about the stuff that you watch. Unless it's some wild story time, if they're not doing something crazy cool in the first like second, you're off.
Yeah, that's so true. You know, I like, we apply that to like the way that we present, the way that we talk to people, the way that we message is like, you know, keep it short and sweet or you're going to lose them. Right.
Yeah.
And so that totally makes sense because TikTok is so fast, you know, in a 15-second video, you saying that in the first, you lose them in the first second. I'm like, wow, that's powerful right there. Is like, if we really just focus on like, what is the starting, what is the entrance, what's going to draw people in. And if you think about it, it's like when people run at the camera or something's moving and it's like, you don't know what's happening and it kind of shakes up your senses. So I think that those are some amazing, amazing tips and ideas. And then just, so for your new distributors, what would you suggest like for training? Are you putting them all into a group? Are you messaging them all individually, or do you have any kind of strategy with that?
Yes. So everything is a system. So I have a system when they sign up. It's the first initial message. Hey, it's Katie. You want an info? My video. And then it's, okay, great. Let's sign you up. And here's here's my website. When they sign up, I say, oh my gosh, so excited for you. Add me on Facebook, download Telegram. That's the first, tell me when you're done. They do both of those things. I say, okay, step 3, can you see this group page? Just my team page. And then 4, join this group chat on Telegram. So they join my newbie chat, they're in my team page. All right, now after that, I say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. What you're gonna do is you're gonna immediately get started on my training in my team page. My Telegram chat, it's just newbies, only my newbies, except for I have like 5 of my leaders on my 2.0 in there just to help me answer questions because it's a lot of people and they ask a lot of questions. But basically, I'm keeping them all in one spot because they will create hype for each other and they talk to each other. They're on the same playing ground. I did not put them in my like regular 2.0 chat because I want everybody on the same level. And so they're all talking. And now the people who started 2 weeks ago, they're helping the people that started yesterday. Mm-hmm. And now they're like, it's so great because now everybody's working together. They're getting more confident together because 2 weeks ago, distributor is getting confident. She's feeling awesome because she's able to answer some of these simple questions. And so everyone's working together. Everyone's really hyped. And the best thing is if anybody does put anything that's like, man, I'm really struggling, somebody who's killing it's like, girl, it's so simple. All you have to do is X, Y, Z. This is how I got my 6 without me even saying it. So it's good to have them all together. And they just, like I said, they answer all the questions. I put everything in there at one time. So like I'm doing newbie Zooms for my newbies. Just so they can see me more because I can't build as much of a relationship through just like texting 100 people. So I'm like, all right, you guys, let's get on Zoom. So I do Zooms with them Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Power 30s with me sharing my screen. It's slow moving, meaning like I'm sharing my screen. I'm literally like, okay, this is how we add people. This is how we follow. This is how we comment. Like this, like just showing them it's so easy. And so they're walking, and I'm also giving basic tips, you know, like don't put a no on your poll. Like make sure it's always yes or send info, and then something as simple as like, don't try to put your link anywhere. Like we don't do that here. So I'm just showing them basic stuff in between while we go through the checklist. Then I have a 2.0 training that they're welcome to every Thursday. They get on that because they want to learn more fast-paced stuff. And then I have one fast-paced Power 30, but that's for my entire ambassador team Wednesday morning. So they have the opportunity to see me 6 times a week. And so they like on a Zoom, and then they're like hopping on and learning faster because my training is very simple, but I like people to like get on with me so that they can feel my energy. They're plugged in, they see each other, they ask questions, and I always offer that spot as like somewhere where I can further explain something if you're confused. And as far as my team training, it's like so simple. Unit 1 is like the basic. I have a video, it just talks about like, what is a customer? What is a distributor? What do you do? Like, what's the company like? Our product, just the most basic of the basics that you have to know, like foundation stuff. Second day, they get their first host, like they post the host to post the first day. The second day, strictly getting up post to post, like learning how to do that, asking family and friends to post for you. And day three is reaching out with the step success sheet on eSuite. There's like a thing, it's like, who do you know that likes coffee? Who do you know that likes tea? Who needs more money? Like they reach out to those people and they start the KPI list, which is where I was talking about, like I always mix it up. It's like the checklist, the KPI. I used to call it the checklist before it was KPI. So the checklist, they start on day 3, and then day 3 to day 10, it's really just mastering skills. What's an auto ship? Why should you use one? How do you organize? How do you, post better? Everything is like every day is just mastering one skill with the checklist from there on out. So it's simple, but man, it's working. And my people, like some of my newbies that are killing it, one of them came to me last week and she's like, I just don't get how these people aren't getting their customers. This is so simple. Like if you follow what's in there, you just get them. And I'm like, I know, it's crazy.
This business works if you work it, right? And I think we've been talking so much lately about fear, and I think it's really fear that holds people back, and it's learning something new. And I definitely have felt it right along with the team. Like TikTok is new. Social media was never really my main thing, but I'm just like, I feel like just in the last couple of days, the more you watch it and like, you feel like you're spending a lot of time like watching it, but once it kind of clicks and you figure it out, I really see the potential of how this can help you explode in such a massive way. And I think we definitely all need to do that. And I love to, what you were sharing, and that your newbie chat is on Telegram. Just a quick question about that. I know a lot of our teams have chats on Facebook and Messenger and even on Instagram pods and things like that. But when you're having this many people from, what I've heard from other top leaders like yourself that are mass enrolling through TikTok, is that you really want to keep your Messenger open for your newbies. And that's why you're moving all of your kind of business team chats over onto Telegram. Is that kind of?
Yeah, Telegram there's a lot of reasons I use Telegram. One, I have a couple chats. So I have a stay connected chat, was whenever I have a training, I send out a mass message and connected. I can limit, so only certain people, whoever I tell can talk in there. Like you can't get around it unless I give you permission. So it's a non-talking chat with only notifications. My other chat, I have a content chat that's strictly Instagram slides. And again, nobody can talk in there besides me and my leaders. And we only send slides in there. Then I have my newbie chat, which again, this gives me the opportunity to, one, if chaos were to break loose, I can delete and move it on right away. And basic messenger, you have no control over what happens in that chat. So I make sure there's no negativity, things like that, and I have control, and then if needed, I could easily swipe them out, I could mute them, I could do whatever, but it just makes sure that things go smoothly, and also there's no limits to how many can be in a chat in Telegram, and to me, like, I like having my team in one spot. So like, don't message me on Messenger, I'm not going to respond. You have to talk to me in Telegram. And that way I can go, there's like an unread spot where I can put it's like a button, and every unread thing is there. So I can go through. When I get like added, it gives me a little at button. I can click it. It takes me directly to wherever I was tagged. And then I can read it. I can respond to messages faster. It's cleaner. It's easier. Everybody should just use Telegram. It's the best thing.
I love it. I know we've transitioned over a little bit, and I'm finding better and better uses for it, but I really appreciate the feedback on that too. Cause again, like, we've got to constantly be evolving, right? And like, now that we're using new platforms and times are new, we've got to figure out new ways to work our business and stay connected with our team. So I'm just so incredibly grateful for your heart, for your leadership, for your willingness to jump on here and share with us today. I know every one of us that was on the call last night was just so inspired by what it is that you're doing. And again, the fact that it's a new platform, you can't say that it's because Katie's been on TikTok for 6 years, right? So I think that really should give every single person on here incredible hope in terms of what you're capable of doing if you do jump into this platform and start using it. So anybody have any last minute questions? If you do, just quickly drop them in the chat, but maybe just drop some thanks and appreciation for Katie sharing with us today. She's got 114 new distributors in the last week that she could be training in this half an hour, and she's chosen to pour into us, and it just means the world to me as a friend and as a leader. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're so welcome, you guys.
All right, any last fire comment before we let you go?
You know, I'm just going to tell you guys one quick thing, and it's just you have to learn that when you're not getting the results that you want, you just have to do something different. And that means stepping out of your comfort zone every single time. And if you guys knew what me and Barb know about what's coming on the 29th and what's coming in January, like you guys would not be slowing down. You'd be working your butt off. A little bit of sacrifice now is what it's going to take to have an explosive 2021. You do not want to be behind when we get through the 29th and then into January, because this is literally setting you up diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, back to back to back promotions. And every single time I've made the decision to change my business and explode, it's just because I learned that if I keep doing what I'm doing now, my business is going down. I learned in Tony Robbins that you're either growing or you're dying. And so if you're not enrolling, you're dying. Your business is dying. So you've got to learn, how can I enroll more, get more disciplined. You're not going to wake up every day with the most energy and the most motivation until you find what you're truly passionate about and what you want next. Figure out your why, figure out your vision, and just go for it and stop at literally nothing. Nothing can get in the way of what you're going for. All the way into 2021, you're going to knock it out of the park, but you got to make that decision consciously every morning. When that alarm goes off, you get up, get your workout in, drink your water, stay consistent, do the TikTok, and don't give up in 2 weeks because you didn't have an explosive TikTok. It might take 4 weeks, but if you get 5,000 applications in 4 weeks, that's more than you would have ever gotten from messaging on Instagram or posting on Instagram or whatever it may be, just because you decided to stay with it and stick it out. So just stick it out, be disciplined, and just stay so consistent with that vision, and it'll be yours.
Amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Katie.
Yeah.
This was absolutely incredible. I know we're all feeling just so excited to try something new. And we just so appreciate your time and pouring into us all today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. And just last but not least, what's your TikTok handle so people can follow you?
Just Katie.Bevington.
All right. Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I challenge you all to go out there and record some TikToks today. Be bold, share them on the team page, you know, and show people that you are stepping out and taking those action steps towards changing your business and having that explosion of 5,000 applications. Can't wait. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks so much again.